do that. Right. Good there. Back. You see something. Yeah. Go over here. Let's check my other screen before I get into tonight. Move you out of the way. Alrighty. Anybody who's here, good evening. Hey there, Lonely God. How are you? I'm just setting things up for tonight. Waiting for a bunch of my regulars to come in and anybody else who is going to be hanging out tonight with us. It's a little warm here. Okay. Think that's good. Gonna wait a few more minutes before we get into it. Alrighty. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay, I know what that is. So how are you, the Lonely God? Oh, cool. Yeah, I had a quick little dinner. It was like basically a breakfast burrito, but in a tortilla, but made into like a muffin cup thingy type thing. Yeah. I also had that for lunch too. So yeah, I'm just waiting for people to come in. I need to send out a message to this place here. Yeah, it was like it had cheese in it and bacon and jalapenos. But instead of rolled up into a burrito, you get like oversized muffin tins, and you spray them with spray, and then you put your flour tortilla in there, and you kind of scrunch it around, and then fill it with your egg, cheese, whatever mixture, whatever you got, basically. Good evening, Clay Miko. How are you? Hey, Crojo. I was explaining to the lonely god the I don't know what they're called, egg cup, whatever, the breakfast burrito, but instead of in a rolled burrito, they're in the cup. Remember you had some of those a couple weeks ago? Like you take the tortilla and you fill it with a mixture of eggs and cheese and whatever else you got. We had bacon jalapeno ones. No cheesy stitch. We're not doing cheese. Cheese and crochet do not mix. You don't want to mix the two together. No. Okay. So tonight, when we get into this, tonight's stitch is pretty cool. I actually really like it a lot. Tuesday, we did the puff stitch. Well, this is kind of related, somewhat. And it's a very textured stitch. So when we get into this, I think it's really cool. So I think we're going to start. We are doing the honeycomb stitch. This has a right and a wrong side. So that's the wrong side. And that's the right side. And let me get a little bit of light in here. Come on. Turn on. So it makes this raised, bumpy texture to it. You can kind of see it a lot when I hold it that way. And then the back is pretty flat. It's really easy to make. So if anybody's crocheting along, let me know. And then as usual, after we're done this, we will do the meme of the stream, and then I will be working on my shawl, which I've made a lot of progress on it, but there's a long way to go. It uses more yarn than I was anticipating, but I got plenty of the yarn. So let's see this. Okay. Is anybody crocheting along for the honeycomb stitch? If not, then I'll just start into it. Okay. Crojo, are you not you? Okay. Anybody else who's crocheting along, if you need me to slow down, speak up. This stitch multiple for this is 3 is your multiple, plus 1 more for your foundation. This example was 30 plus 1 more was 31. We're not going to do one this big. So I'm going to do 12 plus 1. So I've done 12 chains plus 1, so it's 13 chains. and I will let anybody catch up. And I will zoom in. So now the second chain from the hook, you're going to do a single crochet. And then you're going to do a single crochet in each of the remaining chains. So when you're done this row, you will have 12 single crochets, or whatever your multiple of 3 is. Hold on, I got to get to the end here. So what you're going to do is you have your multiple of 3, you have your chains, which are multiples of 3 plus 1. So my example, I have 12 chains plus an additional chain. That additional chain is your turning chain. And then your second chain from the hook, you'll do a single crochet. And then you'll do a single crochet, one single crochet into each of the additional chains. So basically you're doing a row of single crochet. But you're going to make certain you have a multiple of 3 for your total length for this pattern to work. And one thing, I stitched on the more tighter side. When I was doing this, my whole thing was twisting. But after you get a few rows, you could pull it out and reposition it to get that twist out. Or, as usual, you can always go up a hook or 2. So all this is a row of single crochets, but it's a multiple of 3. So that. So we have our multiple of 3. Our row of single crochets that are a multiple of 3. Then you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. You chain 1, turn your work. After you've done that, the very first 2 stitches in each of those, you're going to do a single crochet. So you're going to do a single crochet in the first stitch and a single in the second stitch. Real basic crochet. After you've got that, again, all we've done is we've chained 1 and then we've turned. We do a single in the first 2, 1 single in each of the first 2 stitches. In the third stitch, we're doing something called a double crochet 5 together. It's going to sound weird. It's kind of like the puff stitches we were doing the other day. You can call it a puff, you can call it a bobble, you can call it a bunch of different things. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap our yarn like we're doing a double. and we're going to go into the very next stitch, so it's the third stitch. So we've wrapped, we go into the stitch, yarn over, bring it up. We have 3 on the loop, on the hook. Then what we're gonna then what we're gonna do is we're gonna yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. So we're gonna do basically a double crochet, but we're not gonna finish it. We're only gonna do the first half. So I'll repeat that again. We're gonna wrap our hook, go into the next stitch, yarn over, well, bring up grab it, bring up the loop up through the work, 3 on the hook, yarn over through the first 2 loops, and hold. Now we're going, if you're ready for me to go to the next step, let me know. So all we've done is we've done the first half of a double crochet. Now, once we have that, we have 2 loops on the hook. We're going to wrap our yarn around the hook, go into that exact same stitch, bring up a loop. We have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over and through the first 2 loops. After you get done that, you will have 3 loops on the hook. So far, we have done we've started 2 stitches. As you can see, the first loop never counts as a stitch. Those 2 loops here are from 2 double crochets, but we haven't finished them yet. Probably not explaining this right. So after you have that and you have 3 on the hook, you're going to yarn over. So you're going to wrap your hook, go into that same stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over through the first 2 loops. So now we have 4 on the hook, but that's actually 3 stitches. The first one doesn't count because, again, with every stitch in crochet, the very first loop does not count because that's how you start. So we've done that 3 times. Now we're going to do that exact same motion 2 more times. So it's a total of 5. Going to wrap, go into the same stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over through 2, and now we have 5 loops on the hook. We're going to do that 1 more time. Wrap your hook, go into the same stitch, and it's going to get a little difficult sometimes. And then you're going to bring up a loop, yarn over through the first 2 loops. So now you will have a total of 6 loops on your hook. Again, the first loop does not count because that's your starting loop. The other 5 are your partially done double crochets. Does that make sense? Okay, so when you have 6 loops on the hook there, you're going to yarn over and bring through all the loops. Okay? So you bring through all the loops, and then you're going to hold. You're not going to do a chain. That right there, let me get my pointer. The beginning of the row had a single in the first stitch and a single in the next stitch. And in the third, we had one of these double crochet 5 together bobbles in the third. That's the repeat. So in the very next stitch, you're going to do a single. There's no chain. You go up immediately into the very next stitch to do a single, And then the next stitch after that, you will do a single. So there'll be 2 stitches. And when you do that, your stitches on the back side will form a bubble. And on the inside, it'll be like a cup. Because you have all of those loops and all those stitches that has no place to go, that it has to pop out one side. So immediately after your little your bobble, I'm going to call those bobbles, the next 2 stitches each get a single. Each one. And then the third, you do another bobble. And it's 5 of them. So you're going to do 5 partial double crochets immediately, one after another in the same stitch. And I'll walk you through it again. We're going to wrap our hook. Hey, Seagam. Wrap our hook. And in the very next stitch, go in, bring up a loop, yarn over, through 2. We have 2 on the hook. That is our first double that we're working with. Wrap your hook, go into the exact same stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over through the first 2 loops. You now have 3 on your hook, because we've done the second one now. Wrap the hook again, go in, bring up a loop, yarn over through the first 2 loops. Now we have 4 on the hook. Do it again, wrap our hook, go in the same stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over through the first 2 loops. Now we have 5 on our hook. We're going to do it one more time because we're doing a total of 5. Because always remember, your very first loop does not count because that's your starting loop. And all the other ones are the amount you're doing. So we have 4 so far. Now we do one more. Wrap our hook, go in, bring up a loop, yarn over through the first 2. And after we do that, you should have 6 loops on your hook. When you have 6 loops on your hook, now you can yarn over and go through all 6 of those loops. And what you can do is you can pull it snug, and then with your other thumb, you can kind of push it down to pop it out, because it's going to end up popping on the back side. And then immediately after that, the next 2 stitches each get a single crochet. So after you do your bobble, each of the next 2 stitches will have a single, and then the third one will go another bobble. When you work this row, you start with 2 singles in the first 2 stitches, and the very end row, the very last stitch, will be a bobble. So I've got 2 single crochets right after another, and then the third one is the bobble. So I'll demonstrate it one more time. We're wrapping our yarn around our hook, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over through 2. We have 2 loops on the hook. Wrap our hook, in that same stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over through the first 2. Now we have 3 on the hook. Wrap our hook, go into that same stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. Now we have 4 on the hook. Wrap our hook, go into the very same stitch we're working on the whole time, bring up a loop, yarn over through 2. Now we have 5 on the hook, and now we're going to do that one last time. Wrap our hook, go into the same stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over through 2 loops. You should have 6 loops on your hook. Once you have 6 on your hook, yarn over, go through all 6. then the immediate next 2 stitches are each going to get 1 single crochet. I'm at the end of my row, and I have 1 stitch left here at the very end, and that's going to get a bobble. So we're going to do the same thing again. Wrap our hook, go in, bring up a loop, yarn over, through 2, 2 on the hook. You're going to do that 4 more times, so you end up having 6 loops on the hook. Now I have 3 on the hook. Now I have 4 on the hook. Now I have, 5 on the hook. 1 more time. And I'm going to have 6 on the hook. Hey, Grammy. Again, when you have 6 on the hook, you're going to yarn over and go through all 6. That is your second row of the honeycomb stitch. Anytime you're working the honeycomb stitch, when you actually make the bobbles, you are looking at the back side. So I'll wait until Clay Miko gets to the end of the row. You're at the end of the row? Okay, you're going to chain 1 and turn. And when you turn, you're going to see all your bobbles that you made. Now, this is the part I might have to get real close up and show you. So this row that we're going to work now, anytime you see the bobbles towards you, you're only going to do single crochets. But the key thing is, your first one, you're going to work on the top of this bobble. So I have a bobble here, and you're going to go in under that first, there'll actually be, you know how a crochet stitch, the top of it is a V? You're going to go under the very first 2 strands that form that V of your bobble, if that makes sense. Let me show you probably a little bit better on the green here. Might show up better. I'm not to that point of doing it, but if I was, there's 2 strands here that's forming the V. That's where you're going to go under. So you're going to go under the very edge of that bobble and do a single crochet into that stitch. And then the next 2 stitches are singles. They're right in between the bobbles. So there's 1 here and there's 1 there. Those are all singles. So you're going to do a single into each of those. So there's 3. And now you come to a bobble again. You're going to go into the top of the bobble. Not the top here, but the top edge, because you're growing your work out this way. You're not growing on top of the bobbles, obviously. And you will have the same amount of single crochets that you had of original stitches when you did your onto your foundation chain. Because this is a multiple of 3 for this pattern. Every other row is just single crochets. So that row is simple. The odd number rows, 1, 3, and so on, are always just single crochets. But the key is to get it right into, you have to make certain you're doing a single crochet into the tops of those bobbles. And it's always good to count to make certain you have the same amount that you started with. In my case, 12. Okay, when you get to the end of the row, you're going to chain 1 and turn. And when we were doing bobbles on the previous row, the bobbles, we started with 2 single crochets, so single and a single, and then a bobble. Well, now this row is alternating. So this row, and we know we're on the back side because we don't see the bobbles. The bobbles are underneath. The very first one you're going to do is a bobble. Remember when we did our bobbles here, we ended with a bobble? Well, now this row, we're starting with a bobble. That is what's giving this honeycomb effect. How they're all nestled into each other. They're alternating, they're staggered. So in this row, the very first stitch is going to have a bobble. So you're going to wrap your yarn and go into that first stitch and do your double crochet 5 togethers. So go in, bring up a loop through the first 2 and hold. That's 1. You're going to do that 4 more times in that same stitch. So that was the second one. That's my third. That's a fourth. And then here's my fifth. And again, when you're doing these, give a little bit of extra room for it to play. Sometimes it can be difficult. You're going to keep doing that until you have 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over through all 6. A bobble has been formed. And now the next 2 stitches are each going to get a single. Doing that first single actually really forms that bobble. And that's the repeat for this. So every other row is single crochets, and then every other even numbered row, or your bobbled row, will start with single crochet. Will start with a single crochet, and then the opposite, every other, will start with a bobble. So this row will start with a bobble, then followed by 2 single crochets, and those are the first 3 stitches you're stitching into. In the 4th stitch from your previous row, you're doing a bobble. And that's my 5th one. Yarn over through all 6. And then the very next 2 stitches, each of them get 1 single. This does use up a lot of yarn, but it makes a really cool textured pattern. So it's always 2 single crochets in between each bobble. Again, you keep doing those partial double crochets all in that same 1 stitch till you have 6 loops on your hook, and then you're going to yarn over through all 6. And then each of the next 2 stitches each get 1 single. Since this row started with a bobble stitch, it's going to end with 2 single crochets in the last one in each of the last 2 stitches. That's how you know if you've counted right and are on track. And that's my last bobble, and then the last 2 stitches each get a single. And when you get to the end of that row, you'll chain 1, turn your work, and then when the bobbles are facing you, that row you're going to work on, it's all going to be singles, but remember to go into the top edge of each of the bobbles. Each one gets one stitch. So I've turned and I've chained and turned, and I got 2 stitches here. Each of these get 1 single crochet, and then the top of the bobble will get a single crochet. And you do that all the way to the end. They're just singles. And in this row, we're going to end with a single crochet in the top of the bobble, because that's what we ended on. That's the repeat for this pattern. It's a 4-row repeat. So it'll be row of singles, a row with your bobbles where you start with singles, then a row of singles, and then a row of bobbles where you start with a bobble. And then you keep repeating. The more you make, this here's got 5 rows of bobbles. But again, in between each row of bobbles, there is a row of singles. And all the bobbles will all nestle together in a honeycomb type shape. And again, we've got our right side, which is the textured side, and then our wrong side, which is pretty flat. That's the honeycomb stitch. This would be really good for not necessarily a finished border, but do this all the way around a blanket, around the edge. So you'd have your regular, whatever pattern you're doing, whatever pattern for your blanket, and then go all the way around with like maybe a row of 2 or maybe even 5 like this, or even however, well, this is actually 4, not 5. However many, and then do an actual border, so you'll have a little bit of texture around the edge. I can even see this with some durable, strong yarn, and you make the front panel, the front side of a cushion or a pillow. So, you got it? Isn't it cool? It does eat up some yarn. So, that's the honeycomb stitch. Variation on the puff stitch like we did the other day. Okay. Are we ready for the meme? Because it's already been 40 minutes in. Wow. If Crojo's around. Yeah, I like it a lot. And it's in this book, The Stitch Dictionary by Sarah Hazel. Take your time. I'm going to get my tape measure right here. So I got to measure the width of the shawl. I don't remember how much it was the last time I measured it. Oh, I don't know if anybody saw, if anybody's in the Discord, I posted in the general channel on the Discord a link to a YouTube channel I came across. It's a relatively new. They've only been around for like 5 months or so. It's called Just Vintage Crochet. She finds old vintage crochet patterns, tries to interpret them. I only watched one or 2 of the videos, and then tries to recreate patterns from the past. So it was kind of cool looking. Okay, so we're gonna pop on over to the meme of the stream, and I gotta make the picture a little smaller because it's Definition of crowanity? Crowanity? Bad words you say. Oh, like profanity. Crowanity. Bad words you say while crocheting. I never say bad words when I'm crocheting. Never, never, never. Never said that. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. So, what? Oh, okay. We're good with that. Let me see where I am on the shawl. And I forgot how far I measured. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're at 13 repeats of this pattern, and I still got to go more. We have determined that. And we're about 64 inches wide. Well, I can't get it all in frame. That's all I can get. And that's from here, which we've got a couple inches to the left, and over to the right. Well, actually, to the right, we probably got another foot to the right. Yeah. Focal length on this camera isn't wide enough. Plus, there's not enough the focal length, the distance between it. We are going now. I'm going to check to see how far. So it's about 64 across, and then this is the length from top to bottom. We're about at 28 and a half ish. We definitely got to go a lot longer than that. And this is using this is all I have left of the third ball. I'm probably going to have to do a total of 4 of them for this. So, this is going to be a while till this is done. Oh, I got to take out that last stitch or two. I hope so. I'm not exactly certain for a finished actual measurement, but I definitely have to go much longer. I tried it on just draping across my shoulders, and it definitely needs to be longer. I mean, I don't want it to be like oversized and like humongous. And I'm going to try to get this in frame. I got to lay it out a certain way that where it's easier to stitch and also show it on camera as I stitch. Okay. And again, this is the Fluffy Meringue shawl pattern from the Crochet Crowd. And I'm going to zoom in a little so you can see what I'm doing. So what is everybody working on tonight? Hey, Nor Fairy. Back to corner. Oh, did your yarn show up? Scrubby dishcloths, nice. Yeah, the corner to corner the Grammy's working on is really, really pretty. Um, Anybody who's joining, welcome. Welcome to the stream. You've started a fourth whip. Woohoo! What is your fourth whip? Another blanket? Posted it in Discord. Let's see. Oh, wait, what is this? Let's see. What? Hold on. Hold on. All of my windows went. They're still here, but all my windows went kaplooey. Like all of my windows. They all went bye-bye. Okay, I think we're good. What is this? Oh, that's pretty. Is that like scrubby yarn? Clean Mako says I'm doing the baby blanket, mom's blanket, the glorious granny until I run out of purple, and now I'm doing individual grannies that will connect later to make something. Oh wow. Yeah, yes, kaplooey is a technical term. I, you know how it is on Windows. Sometimes you click on a Windows machine, you click somewhere, and I don't know where I clicked, and all of my windows and tabs went away. And I'm like, where'd everything go? I hate it when it does that. Oh, okay. Discord needs to go over here. Oh, scrubby and cotton mix. Cool. Those of you who are in the... Oh, wait a minute. Bottom right is a semi-hidden button that click. I know. Yeah, I know about that. I clicked on it and oh, okay, I got it now. Thank you. I figured it out. Ooh, whoopsies. Great. Those of you, and I know my core regulars, and again, anybody else is watching, feel free to chime in and chit chat. Anybody who is in the Mid-Atlantic area, I will be going to and I'm not demonstrating. I'm going as a visitor, as a guest. It's not like I'm going to be setting up teaching anything because that ain't happening. Oh no. I will be at the Frederick, what do they call it? The Frederick Fiber Fair in Frederick, Maryland. So that'll be kind of fun. It's called a nubbly stitch. And one thing I noticed, and I looked on the website for the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival, they have, I don't know what, demonstrators, that's live interpreters. They're dressed in period costumes and doing techniques from, I think they said like the 1100s to like the 1500s in like Denmark, Norway, like Northern Europe or whatever. So I think they're going to show different weaving, not maybe weaving, spinning techniques, and maybe knitting techniques. I don't know if they're going to have crochet, because I think crochet is a more of a modern art. But I noticed that they're also, that same group will be at the Frederick Fiber Fair. Forgot what the name of the group is called. Well, they have pictures. Let me they have pictures on the website. Events and demos. Okay, I can't pronounce it because it's Scandinavian. NJO with the little dots on the top. R and like the Scandinavian D. It's like this weird shaped D. R apostrophe S Wanderers. I don't know how to pronounce it. Nordic or whatever. Actually, let me bring this over here. This is from the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival's website. And what did they say? They portray a typical seasonal trading camp found around the waterways between Ireland, Iceland, France, and Denmark between the years 800 and 1000. Okay, so even earlier. Focus on people, activities, goods found within these camps. Yeah, okay. They'll have like merchandise, but yeah, they are wearing very simple costumes. I'm not going to click on any of the videos, but I can't. Let me see if I can make. There is somebody in a period costume with some pelts. So it'll be kind of interesting. Oh, now I can't make that window smaller. Now I got it. think they said they also go throughout the year. They go to Jamestown Settlement, Carroll County Celtic Festival, the Maryland Irish Festival, and a bunch of other festivals in the Mid-Atlantic region. But again, anybody who is watching this, I have a Discord, and that should be linked here on the Twitch. And actually, I need to actually link it on my YouTube. I need to put it into my YouTube description. I did put the links for both the Frederick Fiber Fair and the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival in the Discord if anybody was interested. Even if you're from out of town, if you happen to find yourself in this area at those times, and anybody who else is in my Discord that is watching that live elsewhere, feel free to post events in your local area that are related to crafting, and it doesn't have to be just crochet or yarn or fiber arts. Because that events channel is just not for me. It's also for the community to post. And I know I have a very small Discord community as it is. Hopefully that will change. And feel free to share the Discord link with anybody that you think would be interested in the Discord and all of the sharing of the projects that we do. With talking all of that, hopefully I didn't mess up any of the stitches on this. Seeing how I'm halfway down this row. I did mess up that stitch, so it's supposed to be a double there, not a single. These. Trying to concentrate on this without making a mistake. Okay, there we go. Good evening, anybody who's popping in. Every now and then I see my viewer count, the number change here and there. I don't know if it's accurate, but anyway, anybody who's coming in, hello. Okay, there we go. I hate doing that weird stitch. It's kind of where you do a partial double and then you join it to the next one on the other side, and it's weird. Okay. Here. Oh, almost into this row. Like to go to Mount Vernon when they're having the demonstrations there too. Yeah, when I went last year, they weren't having any demonstrations. I don't know if they, I'm assuming that they would have that on their website or whatever, because they don't have it all the time. And it's a small building, and that building at Mount Vernon, the house is original, and some of the outbuildings are original and some are recreated. As far as I remember, that the spinning house, which is right next to the main house, all of them near the main house, is original. I've never been to historic Williamsburg, and if I did, I was so little I don't remember. I've been to Yorktown, but I don't really remember Williamsburg. I know, and I'm a big history buff. I've been to historic St. Mary's City, but they weren't really doing any demonstrations. And even if it's not just spinning and weaving and all of that, any other type of historical reenactment, cooking and other types of that type of stuff, I think is pretty cool. Yeah, Williamsburg is kind of far. I mean, it's what, 3 hours roughly? Mount Vernon, from well, Central Maryland is about an hour. I Oh, Sturbridge Village in Massachusetts. Yeah, I've never been to Sturbridge Village. It's a day trip. It's a long day trip. Yeah, Massachusetts is at least a weekend, if not longer. From Central Maryland, I gotta always preface that that's where a bunch of us are. Not everybody in here is in the Mid Atlantic area. Drive to Disney overnight nonstop a few times. See plans in the future. Was you were once there in the summer of '69? Yeah, I'm freaking that old. You're not. You're not old. Okay. But I don't know about the Frederick Fiber Fair if they're going to be doing any demonstrations. I know they have things to buy and materials like yarn and hooks and finished items and that type of thing. And I know there's animals there. Um, I don't know if they're going to have any demonstrations on the actual crafts. I know the Maryland Sheep and Wool Festival does. Wonder if Gettysburg would have a demo on fiber arts. maybe, if anything, it might maybe spinning, but probably most likely quilting. I mean, yes, they spun and wove and crocheted and knitted during the mid 1800s, but that's more of a quilting. Quilting was more popular that time period. I'm not saying it was the only thing. Actually, that YouTube channel I mentioned, the Just Vintage Crochet, the one video I saw, she got it was a copy, like a photocopy, of a pattern from a pamphlet or wherever to make a shawl, and it was from 1865. You been there before and saw a sewing demo? She's making hope skirts. I think I was with you that time, maybe, or maybe not. The Betsy Ross house had a quilting demo. They did. Oh, hmm. But yeah, this since it's starting to get, hopefully going to be getting warm. um, that's the beginning of all of these reenactments and festivals and all of that good stuff. What these? Actually, the Gettysburg in that era, that time period, the mid 1800s, what they, I know a popular thing would be, and I don't know what they're called. I guess they're called a snood. The crocheted hairnet type things to for the women to keep their hair up. I think they're called snoods. They'd be open and lacy. You see them in all the um, movies and TV shows that are in that time period. Wait a minute. Okay. So that would be crocheted. A big scarf with a hood. I think that's just a hooded scarf. Let me see if I can find a picture. Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess the modern snood is a scarf with a hood on it. I guess there's different versions. Yeah. I'm gonna put in 1860s. Um, Something like that. Like a net to put your hair in. So yeah, that would definitely be Gettysburg era. Lunch lady 0.05 alpha. Okay. No, the lunch ladies wore a hairnet. Yeah, it's actually called a snood. Beans. Oh God, I know what she's talking about. Ah, my weaver's knot came out. Let me fix that again. You might want to check when they have demonstrations at London Town. That's just south of Annapolis in the Edgewater area. I think I know why this yarn was on clear. Oh, which yarn is that? But yeah, the London Town. I've never been to London Town, and it's here in the Annapolis area. I've joined my fourth skein of yarn. Yeah, I'll have to do some more research on events in the region. Cotton mixed scrubby has knots, hard to work with, thin and thick. I'm fudging gonna make it work though. Okay. Well, if you don't like thin and thick, you probably don't want to use this unforgettable. Most of the time it's consistent, but every now and then you get some thin and thick areas. But I put up with it because it's a very pretty yarn. Oh, I didn't do enough chains. Glad I caught that then when I did. The same texture. That's fine. This stuff I have is two different textures to it. Oh. Oh, probably because it's the cotton and the scrubby. Yeah, this all has the same texture. Your thread and thermot has been in parts of rain accidents at London Town. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot what I have to do with this end, this part of the pattern, but I remember. Halfway done this row. Oh no, wait, wait, did I miss? No, we're good, we're good, we're good. I think we're good. Oh no, I did fudge it up there, but we're not ripping that out. There'll be a few mistakes here and there, but nobody's going to notice. Oh. Oh. But yeah, Crojo, that cording yarn you had asked about, that would make a really good bag, like a tote or a beach bag or something, because it's sturdy. It wouldn't be anything that I would want to work with. Oh, Clay Miko, how is the amigurumi going? That cording stuff probably felt slippery because it's probably like a nylon or a polyester of some sort. No, that thing is tossed in the storage room, may never come out. Aw. Well, one day when you and North Fairy have enough to drink, but not too much, and feel in a calm, relaxed state, you could try that again. He could try knitting again. Or, since you were able to knit, you pick up the knitting and have him do the amigurumi. Near the end of this row. Come on. I can't do a simple single crochet. A bit left. Okay. Another row done. I got 2 more rows for this repeat. Okay. Let's flip it all around. There we go. All right, let me double count that. These. Three, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Two, 5, 6, 7. That. No. Eight and 9. I gotta count because if I don't, it's gonna screw everything up. 4, 6, 9. There. Um. Um. I have to frog it back there. I have no place to put these stitches. Damn it! Oh, yeah, I did some crofanity. At least it's only here. It's not the entire row. Oopsies. And I just got to be careful with this yarn when frogging it, because it can snag. I mean, it's not super delicate, but it's got a little bit of a halo to it. And that always gets caught. Got a very tiny bit of halo, but it's still there. And now I'm at an area where it won't frog. Well, this will waste some time on stream trying me to get this stitch undone. I'm gonna need to use one of my yarn needles. I think I got it. Yeah, we got it.
Thanks for the follow.
Oh, thank you for the follow, Minecraft Maniac _0. I'm assuming you're a Minecraft fan. I play Minecraft. Not on stream. I don't know if anybody would want to watch me play Minecraft. I play mostly in creative. It's kind of boring. But thank you for the follow. Okay, we're good here. All right, yeah. I didn't make one of these fan little thingies, and I have to have one of those. If not, the whole other rest of the rows will not work. And I got a tiny bit of a knot, but it's not a big deal. It's fine. It's all good. Okay. Okay. Now we can do this. Okay. End of the row that I messed up on. Okay, let's try this again. Lost count. And the stitch wasn't going right. Nine. That 8. I'm having issues. I can't count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. 5, 6, 7, 8, and number 9. Just folks, crochetanity. There's no frogging my scrubby yarn because it's the little fibers. Maybe next one I'll use all single crochet instead of having to do single and treble. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 2 hours in, and you have half of a dishcloth. Well, now you can wash half of a dish. 1, 2, 3. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So if you have paper plates, why are you making dishcloths? 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Just because it's on clearance doesn't mean you have to buy it and signal to the company that you're rustic or something. No, I think she's making dishcloths to like clean dishes, not like a dish towel for to dry your hands or to dry dishes. Yeah, the type that the thing you put in the sink. Fancy. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and no, I don't do the towels. I think they're gaudy. A friend of mine's mother made 2 of them. They only come out when she knows she's coming over. They hang on the oven door. Okay, I can understand doing like just like some trim and attach it to like a linen or a cloth, whatever, like a more tightly woven type dish towel. Do like an edging, but not the whole thing in crochet. You think you can get 2 dishcloths for $1 at the dollar store? Post it in Discord in a second. It's gaudy and very 70s. Two, 3, 4. What did she post? Oh. 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 Yeah, no. No, 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 no. Not my thing. That needs to go away. Made me lose count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Looks like it does look like a rubber chicken. But everybody has their own taste. I'm not even halfway done this row. Getting there. Maybe the dog can accidentally get a hold of that. Something. Damn it! I did it again. Okay. We're going to take a little break. And we're going to check to make certain that whole row has got the places where I need. That's the only thing she crochets. She's so old, to give her credit, and she was so proud when she gave it to me a few weeks ago. I was like, thank you. She told me she thought it would appreciate them seeing I crochet. Temperature blanket time. Why don't you knit? Take a walk. Okay, let me show you what's going on. So in this pattern, this is the previous row. So I need this grouping here of these stitches and these chains in between, and then that's what the next spray will go into. So they lock in. So I'm double checking that I've got one in between each. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We're up here at the point, and this is how the point should look. And here I need one, and there is none. So that means that all that work I just did on this row, because this is halfway, I got to rip out, and then not only that, the previous row I got to rip back to there. Well, I know that half is good. Oh, I can't because no, I can't. I can't just I can't fudge it. It's got it, yeah, because if not, you won't have the open hole pattern, because it needs that. It's this. It's gonna be obvious. No, it's not. And I was doing so well. I got 13 repeats, and that one other mistake I made was a minor one, which I was able to fudge, but I can't fudge that. God. I don't have any soda up here, and I'd be like, I think I need a drink. No, it's No, okay. It's not that I need to check my notes. It's the repeat over and over and over and over and over again. It's the same thing. So it's this. Yeah, it's not about memory and notes. If it makes you feel any better, I just spent 30 minutes cleaning up yarn barf. Oh, I'd rather clean up yarn barf. Oh, out of a skein? Oh, yeah, give me that. Give me that any day. I enjoy that. That's actually fun. If it helps out the frog out, 4 rows of the Mexican Oh. Okay, but the problem is, again, it's this roving yarn that you have to be very careful because it'll snag on itself and you won't be able to pull it out because, and if you pull too hard, you're going to break it. And I really don't want to. I mean, I could put a weaver's knot in there like I'm joining with, but I don't want to do that unless I have to. So this is going to be the second time I had to frog part of this row. The exact same row. I think what I need to do when I get done a row, before I move on, I need to check to see if I did that row correctly. Instead of getting halfway through the following row, and it's such a beautiful thing, I don't want to totally mess it up. And I'm on my 14th repeat. It's not like it's like the first or second where the rows are small. Come on. And now this yarn is definitely, the halo in this part of the yarn, on this strand, is really getting affected. It's really catching. So I gotta literally take each one. I can't just pull it. I gotta take each one and gently guide it. I need a drink. Okay. Now we're good here. It's actually work. The yarn's behaving. It's not the yarn's fault, it's my fault. The yarn's somewhat behaving for me. You had to post that meme of the crochanity, whatever, however you pronounce that thing. Yeah, that's definitely the night for it. No, the yarn is not bad. The yarn is fine. It's me. The yarn did nothing wrong. Where am I going? Basically, all the way to the midway point. Okay, this is what we're going to end up doing. I got to get that stitch marker ready. Okay. Here's the place I need to frog to. I'm actually going to frog. No. Okay, we're going to frog to here. We are going to put in our stitch marker. And I got to move my yarn in a way it doesn't get tangled on itself because I don't want to have knots on it. And then I can roll it up into the ball so it's not going to get even more knotted. Okay. Now we can sit here and just watch me wind the yarn into a ball. This yarn I can't put into a cake because it just slips off and it makes even a big mess. So I got to put this into a ball and use my yarn bowl, which I'm okay with that. You posted crap in Discord. Oh, it's sugars and cream. I mean, it's not original sugar and cream. It's the scrubby stuff. For those who don't know, sugar and cream is made by Lily. It's usually most of their original stuff is 100% cotton. That's what you mainly use to make dishcloths with, and other things too. Okay. My goal is to get the other half of this row, the one I just had to frog out, done for tonight. We can do this. This is where I need to put one of those stitch combos. Those thingies is what I need. See the textures talking about next time, 100% cotton for sure. Oh yeah, I do see some texture there. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I would like that yarn. Hey, this is where I need that to make that hole. Yeah, we get to the end of this row. I'm going to double check that it was done right. At least this half. The other half is fine. And then we will be done the stream. Can you use a stitch marker in places where the combos are needed for the whole row before start? Yeah, but that's a lot of stitch markers, and I don't want to be constantly taking them off and moving them and all of that. I mean, yeah, it's wherever I do that. The previous row, when I always say I hate this stitch where you have to do this back post and then you join it with another one, that is where that combo goes. And I just double checked. I know that's fine. Problem is, there's a lot of chains in here, and I just get caught up in the rhythm of making chains, and then I don't remember that I do have to put some double crochets in there sometimes. And I can't give the excuse that it's a complex pattern. I'm so far into this. Not like I'm just trying to learn the pattern. At least the frogging didn't take that long. Just a matter of redoing this work for the third time on part of this. Put extra stitches in there instead of not enough. Yeah, that's it. I'm purposely making mistakes. Yeah, we'll say that's happening. Again, I never claimed to be an expert in crochet. I mean, I'm pretty good, but I'm not an expert. Oh, I put extra stitches there. See, now I'm compensating. There's extra stitches instead of not enough. But I'm catching it before I have to frog everything out. We're at the end of the row. I'm going to put a stitch marker in that. Get in the loop. Okay. Now we're going to go and check. Got those. Let me move this all to the left. To the right. Okay, I got a place where that can go. Got a hole. Got that. Okay. That's good. That's good. We're to the end. Yes, we're good. That took me about an hour and a half to do 2 damn rows. Yeah, we're done for the night. I'm putting that away. Oh, okay. Let's move this. We are going to look over here. Come on, computer. Let's see. Oh, we're gonna go raid Wicked. Wicked no. I don't know if she's crafting or playing a game. Actually, no. Let me see if there's somebody crafting. It says Warframe. I'm assuming that's a game. So I'm gonna try to see if I can have somebody who's doing. I don't know what I don't know what that is. Let's see. Oh, that's me. I'm like, oh, that's colorful. No, it's me. I'm not gonna raid myself. I don't know what they're doing. Let's see here. There's a lot of people. I don't know. Give me a second. Let me look at this. I don't think we're doing that one. Come on. Give me a second, everybody. I can close out some of these tabs. Okay, they're not doing anything. They're just chit-chatting. Okay. We are going to go. Where is that person? We are going to end up rating somebody. I think they're doing some type of amigurumi. Sunday. It's not Sunday. Saturday night, we're doing hairpin lace. I'm going to break out my hairpin lace loom and see what that's all about. Again, check out my YouTube and my Discord. Feel free to join the Discord, post in the Discord, say hi, all that good stuff. And let's see. If I can. Wait a minute. I got to remember how to do this. I did it the other night. Let's see. Okay, that's how we're going to do it. Okay, we're going to end up rating, I think their user's name is Noki of Azeroth, whatever that means. But they're working, let's look at a mermaid. So everybody, stick around if you want to join the raid. If not, I will chat with y'all Saturday evening. Y'all have a good evening and happy crafting, and we're going to join the raid. Give me a second. It's got a countdown, so then. Okay. Catch y'all later.